This episode is sponsored by the Tiltcats, which can be found at tiltcat.com, also on etchaplay.info, which is a weekly podcast about video games, right along with some reviews that can be found over on their website. The Carousel Podcast, which can be found at thecarouselpodcast.com. Also a weekly podcast, which can also be found on etchaplay.info. But not only does it cover video games, also music, movies, and comics. So check them out. Welcome to this episode of Review. This time we're going to be looking at OutLand for the Xbox 360, also available on PSN when it might come back up. But you can get it right now on Xbox Live for 800 points. And pretty much the gameplay is what happens if you have Ikaruga, Castlevania, and make them have a baby. Well, let's find out what would that baby actually be like in that review of OutLand. OutLand for the Xbox 360 and also available on PSN for around $10. The game itself is pretty much a mix between Ikaruga and Castlevania, which isn't a bad thing since we haven't seen that many clones of Ikaruga. But then again, for great reason here. The game itself is extremely challenging, but it's not challenging to the point of being just extremely frustrating. The challenge comes from pretty much the Ikaruga side of having you be able to change from 1 to 2 corridors, or 3 if you count the beginning one, and being immune to anything of the same corridor you are, but to kill the enemy you gotta be the opposite corridor, which will give you the ability of pretty much changing on the fly once you unlock all the abilities. So the platforming side also rely on that, which will have platform disappearing depending on what corridor you are, which in return made it like one of the deepest and most challenging platformer I have to say I have ever played, which isn't a bad thing. This is a fantastic platformer. The only thing is it's extremely challenging, and you gotta have a quick mind and a quick finger to actually pull some of this stuff off. And in some cases, any wonder how are you gonna do this? But after a couple try, you will end up getting it. It's challenging, but not too frustrating. The only part that is frustrating is the bosses themselves, since a lot of them evolve down to remembering patterns and pretty much relying on luck. What sucks about the boss fight is when you start a boss fight, they are multi-level boss fight. Problem is, if you die, you go back to the beginning of the fight, which can get extremely frustrating, especially later on when the bosses get more and more challenging. The overall sense of the gameplay is stellar. I recommend it to anyone that enjoys Castlevania or Metroid, and pretty much anyone looking for a damn good challenge. But the story itself is pretty much you a warrior who is confused, you seek a wise man to figure out what's wrong with you, and he pretty much tell you about the two twins that want to pretty much destroy the planet and pretty much set them reincarnate over and over again for their amusement. They've been locked up in a seal, more like you're the reincarnation of a great warrior who sealed them, and you pretty much gone on the quest to destroy them before they escape the prison, and fighting all the gods amongst the way that have pretty much torn thanks to the sister being locked up. So overall, I give OutLand a 4 out of 5.
To save